Lagos, Nigeria, it's Moments Girls Talk. The guests, Damian Stephen and CEO of Trendy B Events, Bisola Boha, are the guests of the day.
Today on the show, we are talking about the Nigerian wedding fever.
Event planner Bisola Boha tells us all about her dreams for the business.
I always tell people there should always be a jaw-dropping moment at your wedding, something new that people have not really seen or experienced before. So for everything you're doing, it should be. So taking people away from their comfort zone already is like, okay.
A friend of mine was doing his wedding. I'm like, hey guy, you're gonna come to my wedding, you have to buy the suit, 150K. I'm like, oh, brother. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like.
Altogether, they discuss what exactly this Nigerian wedding fever is all about. All that and more as Moments begins now.
But you can
Minimum
still have
2
a
million.
decent wedding in about 7, 10.
So 2 million, you can't even marry.
You cannot.
You're joking.
Wow.
2 millionaire.
How?
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. Today on the show, we are talking about the Nigerian wedding fever. When we did our interview with Bisola, we kind of started talking about this a little bit. Now, Bisola, we talked about the special effects and this wedding thing that is going on where everyone, to me, which is what it seems, everyone is in to outshine each other, right? Nigerian weddings of late, they seem to be about making sure that your wedding is the talk of the town. You want your hashtag to go viral. You want people to be saying a year later, 3 months later, did you go to so-and-so's wedding?
Everybody wants their wedding to be featured on Bella Nigeria.
That's what it's about. Like,
Do you know, I
the
just
special
found out
effects and
recently that
everything.
the hashtag thing is for people don't do wedding albums anymore.
You
You didn't realize that's what it is. People come on the days where there was like full album where take pictures. Have you noticed that when you go to weddings, only the bridal party literally take pictures afterwards. So the wedding album has to be live, trending. People, when you enter some weddings, you see it's
they'll put the
huge.
hashtag.
Because it's for the wedding album. So those who are not there will knock their heads on the wall.
I say,
Those who
if
are
I
there
had
will
only
want
gone.
to use it so that they can say that
I was at the wedding.
I did deal. Do you understand? So
Yes, and talking about what you said, I've actually had clients that said, Bisola, I want to trend.
Oh my
Like, yes,
goodness.
I want to trend. Well, yeah.
So it's not about them getting married to the love of their life.
Well, obviously, they're excited about that. So I think it's now a little bit more of, okay, I'm excited I'm getting married and I want to show everybody that, yes,
But my question
this is the wedding to be.
Let's backtrack. How did Nigerians' wedding get here? How did we get to this place where weddings became an event and not a celebration of love and
I think
unity?
they've always been. If you look back at your parents' photographs, I think they've always, where they wear the ole, they've always been. It's just that with technology and the changing times,
Yes.
and now people are adding things.
Yes.
Weddings have always in Africa.
Social media too has added
Everybody
to
wanting
it.
a naming ceremony used to be when we were young. People
True.
would block the streets and do naming
Actually,
ceremonies.
that's true.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's a Nigerian thing. We like big events, large
It's
statements.
like a business, Yeah,
That's a good way of
it's like
putting
a
it.
business because they just do the wedding, they plan that wedding to make profit from it.
They sell
They just want
Ashwebi.
sell Ashwebi.
True.
That's
The
true.
Ashwebi doubling the prices.
A friend of mine was doing his wedding. I'm like, hey guy, you're gonna come to my wedding, you have to buy the suit, 150K. I'm like, oh, brother. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, I was trying to look for,
For the Ashwebi?
Yeah.
250.
No, it's suits.
The men on suit.
Okay, the men's
men on
suit.
suit. So
That's
it
not even
wasn't-
on the groomsmen, right? This is just men in suits.
Yeah.
150,000.
I'm telling you, man. It's
Then
like
even
you just,
aside making money, some people don't really even want to make money. They want to go there and show off. I've had someone tell me, I don't mind drinking Gary after my wedding.
What?
Yes.
It's a lie.
She didn't care. She just went. And we had a fantastic time. Trust me. Like every trended well. Do you understand? She wanted to go all out. She was excited about getting married. She's young, and obviously she wanted
I
her
don't
friends
mind
to talk.
drinking Gary.
Yes, so she said it.
So that means that
We
some
had
people
some-
are borrowing to pay for their wedding.
They don't mind
That's
emptying
insane.
their accounts. They don't mind.
Okay, but let me
It's
say
getting to
something
that
here,
point.
Priscilla. I feel like, and it's important we're talking about this because I feel like a lot of people, which is what we've said here, look forward to that wedding day.
Instead
And,
of focusing
and I feel like, do you think that
on
couples
marriage.
really enjoy themselves on that day? Because the day is over before you can even realize it. Do you think people get to enjoy themselves? Because if you're putting so much time into I want to train, you're not in the moment.
Well, I
think
don't
so.
know about other people's weddings, but I always try and make sure the clients have a lovely time at their own weddings because there's always something they always tell me they are looking forward to and it will happen. Do you understand? Let it still be about us, even though we want our friends to have a fantastic time. We want special effects at every moment when we enter, confetti when we get to this place, bubbles when we get here, at every junction, fog, this, There was one time my brief was I was like, what will I start from? Like, before it was so easy to just plan and this wedding. But now everybody's wedding
It sounds like a concert.
it's different.
Yeah. For the couples, what do you think they ask for the most, food or champagne?
Okay, so as a planner, it's very important to focus. I always try and focus, even though we have all the paparazzi and everything. So yes, food is very important. Drinks, entertainment. Then every other thing you want to finish your money and bank accounts on. Okay, it's fine. Do you understand?
Finish your
people
money
are
and
going
bank
crazy
accounts.
over the wedding. Yes, their weddings and making sure that their own wedding is bigger and better than the next.
The biggest, the
I don't
baddest.
want you to copy this style. So now it's like actually cracking your head. Even sometimes I don't sleep till like 4. I'm like, God, what I have
Give
to
me
do this.
inspiration.
Yes, I need to, because at the end of the day, you have colleagues too that are doing well. Do you understand? And you have to be at the top of your game.
So wedding planners compete as well.
Well, it's all love.
Unofficially. Unofficially.
Anyways, all right, we're going to pause on this conversation. I'm speechless. I'm confused at the same time. The conversation is going to continue shortly.
My dream wedding, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but it's going to be spectacular.
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. We're coming to you from Lagos, Nigeria, and today we're talking about weddings, the wedding fever in Nigeria. For all our non-Nigerian viewers, I hope you have been taking notes. If you are not married to a Nigerian, maybe you should make that one of the things that you want to do, because it's fun all the way. So let's talk about something that I just want to hear your opinion on destination weddings, because more likely than not, and it's happening more now, a lot of Nigerians are getting, in the past, people would do destination weddings because there's something about that place. Maybe he proposed there, our parents lived there, we went to school there, our anniversary was there, we gave birth to our first child. It was a monumental thing in the past. But all of a sudden, these days, people just pick a destination. Is it because they're trying to cut off the guest list? Is it cheaper? People have said it's cheaper, but then I've always wondered in my mind, how cheap is it really? So let's talk about this destination wedding phrase. Like, what is your opinion about destination weddings?
Well, people do destination weddings for different reasons. I have had a client that said that she wants to do a 20-man wedding in Bali. It's obviously going to be cheaper than having 2,000 or 2,500
But to get
guests.
to Bali is not exactly
Exactly.
No, but then it's
the cost.
Everything, the whole wedding with the tickets, it's not as expensive as when you book a big hall here for 5 million.
On average, how much would you say people are spending on weddings in Nigeria?
Now it's really getting high. I'm actually surprised with the way the situation of the country is. So you have people even spend as much as 25 million, 30 million. It depends on the quality and capacity of people attending your wedding. So if you're just having a few guests, you could actually cut off a lot of budget and use a small location. You don't have to spend so much. But if your wedding is like for the whole world, then obviously your budget has to be very big. The same thing with destination. You can actually have a 150 destination wedding with a very big budget, and a very small budget, depending on the quality of wedding you want.
Okay, tell me, as a guy, I know, because guys are pretty straight up, and sometimes they might not be as involved as we ladies are in the process of getting married and planning a wedding. What do you think is the most important, one for you? Is it court wedding? Is it traditional, or is it exchanging of the vows?
Like the after party.
After party, thank you. Because this is how it goes, Daniel. You see, if you go to Nigerian weddings, I already know it's timely. Everybody's sitting down when the light bar is playing.
And they're waiting for
the whole
wedding
just
to
sitting
go.
down, just eating. Bring food, yes. My guy, take picture. Let's hashtag. And then all of them just say, yeah. Like crazy.
It's the cutting.
Next thing, which one is more important to you? After party, court, wedding. I like how, Bisola just infused the after party one.
I think, exchanging the vow, that moment you watch a woman walking down the aisle, that's the best feeling in the world. So I think that's
I think for most men it's probably that.
They're
not even as involved in that.
No, that's what we tell women, man. I can't, I want to watch you walk down the aisle, the stuff when we twisting girls and stuff like that. So that's it, that's like the most important for me, because I'm a Christian,
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
for your male friends? What about your male friends? I mean, you guys obviously talk about marriage.
Yeah, my guys, that's it. That's what it's about.
So everything else is just papa.
Yeah.
There are some grooms that are troublesome. They are the ones that are the showing stores.
There's someone that we know that
Yoruba boys. This
someone
one is
now.
Yoruba demons. Don't know where it comes from. Where all of them will report with their starch cap and bada on deck. You know.
I'm telling you. But what I've noticed that among the guys, most of my clients, they are just really after the drinks. So say Bisola, okay, my outfit, then drinks, you know. Obviously, they love their wives, you know. Obviously, that's why they're getting married to the love of their lives and all that. But then they are really, really after me, and everybody should have a nice time. They want their guests to enjoy themselves and drinks. Yeah.
You know, and I remember just thinking to myself, like, this is not as fun. I definitely think traditional, probably a lot more fanfare. But for the white wedding, I want a destination wedding. And I say this not to throw shade on Lagos, but I don't want to be in traffic on my way to my wedding.
Very true.
Like, I would do a destination wedding so I can just have that feeling of just a different experience. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What about you?
Okay, because
because you've planned too many weddings, but you're yet to get married, right?
Yes, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I want a small wedding. The thing is, if I cannot afford the wedding I want to do, I'll do a very small wedding. But if I can afford the wedding I want to have,
Would you plan your own wedding?
yes, I will.
Wouldn't it be double stress? A bride.
Well, she's probably used to it.
The thing is, I don't think I can't allow
Somebody else to do it.
because I know the things, and basically most of these vendors are my people.
Okay.
You know, and obviously I know they want to even go over and beyond for me. So yes, guys, don't worry.
So what would your dream wedding be like?
I don't know. Wait and see.
You've never thought about
She's planned so many dream weddings. She's like,
never
wait
thought
and
about
see.
your own?
Funny enough, I've not planned my dream wedding yet, but I think because, like I told you, we're having people come up with different ideas, and I'm like, okay, this wedding looks like it's going to be the big deal. But my dream wedding, I don't know. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but it's going to be spectacular.
Would you be led in by giraffes? Because earlier you had talked about the
do you
fact
know
that
the funniest
a couple
thing?
had done that.
Like they want to do that, but
Okay.
the thing is that actually excited me when I heard it.
Okay.
Because it was just, I was just like, oh my God.
Why would you have a giraffe in? Like, why?
I mean,
Did he propose beside the giraffe?
did you watch Garo Union and Dwayne's
That's what she said. She said they had a
wedding?
giraffe.
They had a giraffe, attend the wedding.
Attend as a guest.
Yes. And it was different. And I had the whole Coming to America entrance thing. It was just nice.
Let's say Coming to America is your favorite movie. I understand.
But what if that's the bride's favorite pet or something? You don't know.
giraffe.
There's always a story.
Favorite pet. So she grew up with giraffes. That's just too strange.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? We can go back and
Medium-sized
forth.
wedding for me.
I want to
not
ask
too
you.
big,
Okay, here.
not too I don't think I would do like Bologna. I don't think I would do it here.
Okay, destination wedding for sure. All right, let's just go on a...
Yes.
This conversation has been really exciting. It's nice to have a wedding planner with us. So in case you're wondering why she has all that information, she plans weddings for a living. And Damien as well, he's chit-chats where he can. And it's very interesting to hear Guy's perspective. We're not done yet. When we come back, we have the question of the day. I would agree with 40 million extravagant.
But you can
minimum
still have
2
a
million.
decent wedding with about 7, 10.
So 2 million, you can't even marry.
You cannot.
You're joking.
The whole
2 millionaire.
How?
Welcome back to Moments Girls Talk. We've been talking about weddings, wedding fever, and I would love to get your opinion, Damien. What are some of the most extravagant or ridiculous things that you've seen happen at a wedding, aside from, the usual?
You know, it's really crazy that when you go for a wedding, like this point that maybe you kind of given the groom a gift and stuff like that, they have to put on your name. You know, it's like among guys like me, if you come for my wedding, I'm gonna come for yours. You know, I have to have a list of people that attended my wedding and the stuff, the money they contributed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you have to check all that stuff out. You know.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
So that's for men only?
Yes, what guys do, I've heard guys, and I know someone who, said, for all the people that showed up for my wedding, thank you. You will forever be remembered. For those of you that didn't, you will be forgotten. It was that serious.
So let me tell you what
So
makes
hold on a second, Damien. So what you're saying is that there's a list at the wedding, and it states how much you have given to your
if
friend.
you come, you're gonna open the envelope. I'm like, before you just really just they just open the envelope, see how they
count
count
it.
the money, they put your name and I mean,
And the amount that you
Yeah.
bought.
Do you feel that guys are taxed heavily and unnecessarily at weddings?
you know, if you, I mean, if you buoyant enough, like, you know, it's
not a
nothing,
big
you
deal.
know. it's
Especially
not a
in
big
the
deal.
East,
But I'm
'cause I've
talking
heard
about-
in the
but some
East
people
they-
that, you know, it makes it a big deal for some guys to get married, man, because they're like, man,
I
all
can't
the
afford
stuff,
Expectations
they'll
are
be needing
too
help
high.
and stuff like that, yeah,
Exactly.
for their wedding. But I don't think that should be, you know, it's a wedding. You're not selling the dough. I know maybe that's like tradition, you know, but I think that should consider certain factors that you're not selling the daughter or your daughter or anything.
I've heard that in the East they spray a lot. Is he? What's wrong?
Yeah,
I've seen a
do
lot.
that, man. That was so good. Like when
They
you
have the
come,
machine.
I was about to say that. I said,
you need to call me. A different kind of swag you call me.
A money gun. I start my money
I was about to
gun. Money gun.
So in Nigerian weddings in the East, they basically the money is propelled from a gun.
You must
make
have
a lot
or a
of
jeeps.
fake gun. And come in big
Come on, don't
cars.
lie. You in this, you must come with like jeeps to go and
Yes,
see.
sir.
And all your friends have to follow. Say,
mad
jeep.
ass convoy.
But that's the way it is, though. That's the way it is. You know, you just call, you do the spray. That's what the wedding is about. Like, that's
Showing
a show.
off.
Like a show,
Showing
you know?
off, yes. Yes.
Put up a
That
good
they are
show for the
capable.
people.
That they're capable.
Yeah.
Very,
Okay,
very interesting.
it's been a very interesting conversation. Let's move to the question of the day, which has to do with the topic of weddings. What is the ideal average budget for a Nigerian wedding? So you're going to be guessing at what it should be.
With what we see
Ideally,
right now
yeah.
on social media, I would agree with 40 million extravagant.
But you can
minimum
still have
2
a
million.
decent wedding with about 7, 10.
So 2 million, you can't even marry.
You cannot.
You're joking.
The hall
2 million
alone.
naira.
How? The hall alone, how much is the hall?
So,
Not
so
talk
what's
of food, drinks.
so what's the smallest
let's,
amount?
Let's even say, because I always tell people, if you don't have your budget is not big enough, okay, at least let's focus on the main thing. So when we get a decent hall, because you don't want a hall that they will take lights in the middle of your wedding and that's the end of your wedding, or the generator has packed up. Do you get? So a decent hall with a good car park, good AC. Then food, you need to have a lot of food, drinks, a good band or DJ at least. Once you cover that, and you know, like obviously the bride will want to look beautiful, decent makeup at least. Do you understand? So once you've covered that, then if you now have extra, you can go over and beyond. So you can actually have a decent,
But in what
Wedding
amount would
for
all of
sex-
that?
let's
for
say-
That
7
decent
million.
woman, like, how much are we looking at?
depending on your capacity, from 5 million upwards, you can have
need to start
you
saving,
can
man.
have a decent wedding.
Is that in Lagos or anywhere in Nigeria?
Below, unless you're using your sitting room or your compound.
Wow.
Or you're using.
Is that
you're
just
going
in
to rent-
Lagos?
Generally, in Nigeria.
In Nigeria in general?
Nigeria.
5
yes.
million minimum.
Yes, to have a decent wedding.
And they're saying that one hall can collect that $5 million.
Yes. One hall can collect that.
For one day.
hall. Even one decorator can collect that 5 million.
Decorator.
Yeah.
Decorator.
Yeah,
so that
girl.
doesn't include food, drinks, just
Food,
decoration.
Yeah.
How much is food, please?
Depending on the menu.
But you know what's
You know, there are
irritating
different-
about the food is that
It's
you never
rarely
get the
ever-
food. You will order maybe 200 orders
And
of
that's
hot
because
dog or chicken and
priorities
something,
are
and
wrong.
you never get it.
So priorities are wrong. So people will spend more money on, they'll pay their decorator. Shout out to all the amazing decorators out there. So some people will pay their decorators 25 million naira, 10 million naira. Then the food person, they will not be pricing. No. Did you understand? Like, they would, so the priorities are mixed up. They would rather want to show off all the glam than put in money. So then when you now tell us 700 guests, 1,000 people show up, meat has finished halfway.
So
That
they've,
is
not,
why
they've
it's
actually not
always
spent
good to
enough
have-
money on food.
No,
That's-
the priorities have been mixed up. So rather than,
Put it
understand
on
your
food, they do
budget
it on
and
the
divide
decoration.
it properly and say, okay, we can't afford 10 million naira, let's go for maybe a 2 million naira decoration or 1 million naira. Do you understand? And share that money and get food and stuff. They would rather spread that money and put it somewhere else. So
That's
you don't have
ridiculous.
enough food, then guests come, they will now say, the wedding planner. Do you understand? So it's always good from the beginning as a wedding planner. I always try and let the client understand we need to get this thing right. And have
You
your
wanted to say
backup small
something?
chops.
I
Always have your backup
was
small
gonna
chops.
say, because that's the reason why people come and meet after your wedding, man. I was at your wedding, I didn't get food and stuff like that. But
No,
that's it.
people don't
Especially
come and
if
meet
you
me
pay
at my
money.
own wedding. But yeah, I understand. Yeah, a lot of people do complain that when they go for weddings, they don't get food. But I always try and go all out, especially for the couple's friends. I always tell my clients, we have to have backup. Don't depend only on what the parents are bringing. Have your own backup, because they will, when they have their excess guests, they are thinking of themselves. But your own crowd, you should have someone that is dedicated only.
I definitely know that Bisola.
So that works.
Bisola, definitely, you know exactly what it is that you're doing, which is why you are one of the leading
fantastic
wedding
insight
planners.
into what weddings are like. So
Yeah.
if you don't have a minimum of 5 million naira,
I'm kind of
save.
I'm a bit nervous. Before we
Same.
let you guys go, we have a tradition here where we like you to share something about yourselves that people might not know. A secret.
In your case, you can
quirky.
share like the hardest wedding you had to plan. You can also let
Or the
us know
craziest Brazilian story.
Exactly.
that you've ever had.
Let him start.
Okay. While you think on that,
Yes.
we'll let you start. Something that no one knows about you.
I think I'm just I'm addicted to working out. You know.
She was like,
That was so sweet.
she was like, this one I was like,
I don't know. I don't
yeah,
get
addiction. Hey, send him to Mountain of Fire. He can tell.
I was just like, oh no.
Okay, that's
No, I'm
nice.
just like it's a
You're
serious
addicted to
addiction. Like
working
I can't. You know,
I'm
it's
getting
like,
there. I think I am as well.
Like you work
I'm
out
gonna be
what
sick if I don't work out.
every day of
I
the
have a
week?
friend who's like that.
You work out every day of the week, like 7 days a week.
Yeah, I just do it anytime. I can just wake up middle of the night and start doing push-up.
Just
In the middle of the night, you
Yeah,
wake
I
up.
just do that. I just go to the
Wow.
bathroom.
Even if you've worked out during the day.
Yeah, I'm addicted to that.
So like you're sleeping and all of a sudden, yeah.
you go to the bathroom, like I just look at yourself in the mirror. I'm like, oh man, I need to. I think I'm
Oh
looking
man,
Yeah.
these arms looking small.
I'm looking small.
You're
and
addicted
stuff
at
like
4
that.
a.m. in the morning.
Go
instead
out
of
and
sleeping.
somebody, yeah.
Do you do this when you're on set? You're shooting and you're shooting all hours and you should be sleeping. You now wake up and go, yeah, it's not big enough.
You know, I work out like you know.
It's an addiction. You should
Yeah.
be catching up on sleep.
All right, let's find out from Bisola a
Okay.
little secret she'd like to share with us.
I cry after my jobs. I'm always very emotional. Very.
When it's gone successfully. And
Yeah, because it's just like after it's over, it's always very emotional for me.
It's like
it's like the movie.
Actually,
you know the movie.
very
Have you seen the
emotional.
movie? Like Wedding Planner. Yeah, with Jenny. She was so passionate.
Yeah,
Oh my God, she's actually
always
crying.
very emotional for me.
You're definitely going to
Yeah.
plan my wedding.
Because
Future husband.
yeah, because it's over and
that's amazing.
on
That
to
means
the
that
next
you
one.
love what you're doing and you do it out of passion and not out of the money. Brilliant stuff. Bisola, what is your Instagram handle in case anyone's interested in contacting you?
Bisola Trendy B.
Okay.
Yes.
Hit her up
Or
if you want her to
Trendy
plan
B.
your wedding.
that's so sweet.
Thank you guys so
Fantastic
much
talking
for
to you.
coming
Yeah.
on Moments Girls
All
Talk.
right.
Fantastic, fun
should do this
episode.
again.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, coming up shortly, it is going to be time for In a Nutshell.